The pistol quaked in Officer Dylan Mercer's grip as he leveled it at the black man reaching for cereal. "Don't move!" he snapped, sweat slicking his brow. Mercer had no clue he'd just detonated the worst mistake of his young career. The man in his sights was FBI Special Agent Samuel "Sam" Ward, and in exactly 17 minutes, his police chief would yank the badge from his chest. Stick with me to see how one grocery trip spotlighted prejudice in uniform. Morning light spilled through Whitaker's Market as Sam Ward rolled a cart down aisle 7, mind-weighted with the trivial arithmetic of breakfast options and routine comfort. At 45, he'd built rituals balancing relentless work with simple Saturdays. Hands that signed federal warrants and steadied through 22 years now weighed cereal choices. Weekend noise thrummed. Parents wrangled kids. Older couples shuffled through lists. Scanners beeped. Bags rustled. A soothing chorus after surveillance logs and interview rooms all week. He'd chosen this suburban store, 15 miles from his place, for anonymity. Here, he wasn't Special Agent Ward, just another guy in worn jeans and a faded college hoodie. "Sir, step away from the shelf." The voice cut clean as a razor. Ward recognized the tone instantly, forced authority from someone straining to manufacture control and stature. Without turning, his trained mind sorted details. Young male, nervous tremor, adrenaline spike, 8 feet behind, slightly right. Ward set the cereal in his cart deliberately, non-threatening. He turned slowly. Officer Dylan Mercer stood with his duty weapon drawn. Weaver Stance textbook from recent academy reps, posture loud with overcompensation and first-year swagger. "Is there a problem, officer?" Ward kept even, professional. His eyes mapped exits, civilians, angles. 2 shoppers froze at aisle's end. A mother tugged her child behind her. I said step away, hands visible. Ward lifted them to shoulder height, palms out. "I'm complying," he said, "but I'd like to understand what exactly this is about." Mercer's jaw nodded. "We've had reports of suspicious activity, someone matching your description." "My description?" Ward let a thread of disbelief color his tone, precise, surgical. What description would that be? The question drifted like smoke. Mercer's glance flickered to Ward's skin, then back. Someone who doesn't belong in this neighborhood. The intent landed hard. Ward had endured racism across his career, from sly jabs to blunt force. 22 years, commendations for valor, a master's in criminal psychology, flattened to melanin on sight. "Officer Mercer," Ward read from the nameplate. "I'm going to reach very slowly for my wallet. I'm a federal agent." "Don't move," Mercer barked, finger sliding toward the trigger guard. "I don't care what you claim," Mercer said. "Turn around. Hands on the shelf. Spread your feet." The descent quickened. Telltales Ward recognized toward a potentially catastrophic misjudgment. Trembling hands, blown pupils, rapid breathing. Mercer rode an adrenaline dump, judgment hijacked by fear and prejudice. Ward shifted into the cadence colleagues called his negotiator voice. "You're aiming a weapon at an unarmed federal agent in a crowded store," Ward said, steady as metronome. "Whatever you think is happening, it isn't worth destroying your career." "Shut up," Mercer stepped closer. The muzzle bobbed between Ward's chest and face. "You think you can talk your way out?" "I know your type," he added, voice thinning. "My type?" Ward's jaw tightened despite training. "What type is that exactly?" An elderly woman rounded the corner, gasped, froze. Her arrival spiked Mercer's agitation instead of cooling it. "Ma'am, leave immediately," Mercer barked, eyes locked on Ward. "Officer, you're frightening people," Ward said gently. "Mrs. Halverson, from the flower shop on Maple, right?" Recognition flickered in her expression. "Mr. Ward, oh goodness, what's happening?" "A misunderstanding," Ward said. Please find the manager and ask him to call Chief Harold Quinn. Tell him Sam Ward needs him at Whitaker's. Don't move, lady, Mercer shouted, voice pitching higher. Nobody calls anyone until I sort this out. The standoff reached a knife's edge, training at war with panic and pride. Officer Mercer, listen carefully, Ward said. In 30 seconds, store security arrives. In 2 minutes, someone calls 911. In 5, backup enters finding you holding a federal agent. I'm trying to help you. You're lying, Mercer spat, uncertainty leaking in. If you're FBI, prove it. Credentials are in my jacket, Ward said. May I retrieve them? Don't move. The paradox verged on absurd. Proof demanded, movement forbidden, guilt predecided, justification sought after. Circular logic spinning under fluorescent lights with strangers holding their breath around cornflakes. Then we're stuck, Ward said. You won't let me show credentials and you won't lower your weapon. Call dispatch. Run my name, Samuel Ward. Birth date, July 19th, 1980. They'll confirm I'm a federal agent assigned to the Chicago field office. Mercer's free hand drifted toward his radio, then stalled. Nice try. Fake ID is easy nowadays. Irony sharpened. Ward had testified before Congress, dismantled 2 trafficking rings, shook hands with a former attorney general, now appraised as criminal based on a rookie's bias. What's your badge number? Ward asked. If you're violating my civil rights, I'll need it for the lawsuit. Mercer flushed. 4782, and forget lawsuits when you're in cuffs. Cuffed for trespassing in a public market? Disturbing the peace by picking cereal? Ward allowed a thin smile. Officer, you're digging a hole you won't climb out of. Footsteps approached. Alan Whitaker, the store's owner, appeared pale and urgent. What on earth is this? His eyes flicked from Ward to Mercer. Sam, why is he pointing a gun? You know him? Mercer demanded. Know him? He's shopped here 3 years. He's FBI. He helped my nephew when gangs cornered him. Color drained from Mercer, gun still drawn. He hasn't shown identification, Mercer protested. Because you won't let me, Ward said calmly. Allen pulled his phone. I'm calling Chief Quinn right now. He'll want to hear this immediately. No, Mercer snapped, voice cracking. I'm handling it. Son. Allen's voice carried civil rights-era gravity, impatient with what he was seeing. You're targeting a good man because he's black. The accusation hung heavy. Training finally elbowed into Mercer's panic, but pride doubled down. Everyone stop moving and talking. I'm in charge. Ward watched the psychological unraveling accelerate. Officer, Ward said softly, you're scared. I get it, but you have a choice. Lower the weapon and salvage something, or keep it raised and end your career early. Are you threatening me? No, stating facts. You drew without cause, detained without justification, endangered civilians. Those are the charges Internal Affairs will read aloud, on paper. Allen had Chief Quinn on speaker by then. 30 years of command sharpened the chief's voice. Allen, what's this about one of my officers causing problems at Whitaker's? Frank, Harold, Ward called loud enough for pickup. Sam Ward here. Officer Mercer has his weapon drawn on me in aisle 7. Silence expanded, then Quinn's tone dropped 10 degrees. Mercer, Dylan Mercer. Chief, Officer Mercer, holster your weapon immediately. That's an order from your commanding officer. But Chief, he was acting suspicious. Holster it, now. The man you're aiming at is Special Agent Samuel Ward, FBI, Quinn said. He's also my daughter's godfather and a close friend. Lower your weapon immediately. Mercer's gun dipped, trembling. I need to verify first, Mercer stammered. You need to follow a direct order, Quinn replied, dangerously calm. I'm 3 minutes out. If it's not holstered, start job hunting by lunch. That penetrated the adrenaline fog. Mercer lowered the pistol, still not holstered, shoulders collapsing as strings cut. Small victory. Ward stayed measured. De-escalation is delicate choreography. "Thank you," Ward said, hands slightly lowered but visible. "Would you like to see my credentials now?" Mercer nodded, mute. Reality seeped in. Ward retrieved his badge very slowly. The gold badge flashed under fluorescent glare. Federal Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent. The ID bore Ward's photo, number, Department of Justice seal. "Could be fake," Mercer muttered feebly. "They could be," Ward said, "but aren't. You know it." Sirens neared. That decided it. Mercer finally holstered, deflated. "There have been break-ins," he tried. "Not in 2 years," Allen said. "You saw a black man in a nice neighborhood and assumed," Allen added. The truth rang. Mercer's silence confessed. Ward felt anger and exhaustion entwine, profiling during something as mundane as cereal. Chief Harold Quinn swept through the entrance like a weather front. 59, grayer, still moving with purpose. His expression iced over when he saw the aisle's tableau. "Everyone except staff, clear the area," Quinn ordered, and the cluster of onlookers scattered. He checked Ward first. "You okay?" "Fine," Ward said. "Just another remarkable Saturday morning." Quinn's jaw flexed. Humor didn't help. He turned to Mercer. Temperature dropped. "Officer Mercer, explain." "I observed Agent Ward behaving suspiciously." "Suspicious how?" "He was lingering in the aisle, looking at cereal," Ward added. "And that justified drawing your weapon?" Quinn asked. "I believed he might be armed." "Based on what?" "His demeanor." Quinn repeated it, disgust tasting the word. "Do you know what Agent Ward does?" "FBI, sir." "Lead on our joint task forces," Quinn said. "He helped dismantle Riverside Cartel, identified Parkside Strangler's pattern. He's saved lives here." "And you pulled a gun on him for shopping while black," Quinn said. "Chief, don't insult us. You saw a black man in a predominantly white neighborhood and made him a suspect." "That isn't police work," Quinn said. "That's prejudice with a badge." Mercer reddened, paled, reddened again. "I followed training," he protested. "No training authorizes deadly force for serial browsing." "What specific action justified it?" Mercer's mouth opened and closed. There was none. Silence stretched taut, then painful. Quinn turned to Ward. "Do you want to file a formal complaint?" Ward weighed it. A complaint would trigger internal affairs, potentially crush a career. The error was grave, born of bias and poor judgment. Justice tugged against the hope for redemption. "Give me the weekend," Ward said. "Of course." Quinn faced Mercer. "You're suspended pending review. Badge and gun, now." "Chief, please." "Now." Mercer unclipped badge, surrendered his pistol, hands shaking. The symbolism hit everyone. Authority and trust stripped in public, before the citizen wronged. "Report Monday 0800 with your union rep," Quinn said. Mercer nodded, eyes fixed nowhere, humiliated. He turned to go, glanced back at Ward, perhaps to apologize, perhaps to excuse. Whatever he saw on Ward's face ended that fantasy. He left without another word. Allen cleared his throat. "Agent Ward, on behalf of my store, I'm sorry. This shouldn't have happened." "Not your fault," Ward said, posture finally unclenching. "I'll just pay and head home." "Absolutely not," Allen said. "Groceries are on the house." Ward started to object, but Quinn cut in. "Take them. Allen needs this as much as you need out of here, Sam." There was truth in that. Ward saw it in Allen's eyes. A need to balance scales, however slightly. "All right, thank you." As employees bagged items, Quinn and Ward stood in the scarred aisle. 22 years, Quinn murmured. And you still deal with this? Won't be the last, Ward said softly. Doesn't make it right, Quinn replied. Mercer's 6 months out of academy, good scores, but he sees color before character, Ward finished. I thought training evolved. It has, Quinn said. But you can't unteach what the world teaches. He didn't learn prejudice from us. They stood in tired quiet, two men who'd seen too much, still believing in better. Moments like this strained even sturdy bonds, forcing hard truths about a system they served. I have to ask, Quinn said. A formal complaint means mess, media, protests, politics. Mercer's young and stupid. It could end him. If I don't, what message does that send? That shopping while Black earns a gun muzzle unless you apologize afterward? Ward shook his head. Being the bigger man isn't a civil right requirement. He made his choice drawing steel. You're right, Quinn said. I'm sorry. Ward continued. If I file, he becomes a martyr for some. Career ruined by political correctness. Union fights, months of process, likely a soft landing. Not if I can help it. We both know the drill, Ward said. Unless blood spills, judgment call becomes the shield. The system protects its own, too often. So, what do you want? To go home, Ward sighed. Pretend none of this happened, but I can't. Next time, it's not me. It's some kid without federal credentials. So you'll file? I don't know yet. Give me the weekend. Whatever you decide, I'm with you, Quinn said. And Sam, I'm sorry. He's mine. This is on me. Allen returned with bagged groceries and apologies. All set, Agent Ward. Thank you, Ward said. As they walked out, he felt eyes on him. Sympathy, curiosity, suspicion, stories already forming. Afternoon sun burned in a cloudless sky, incongruent after the morning. Ward loaded the trunk. Quinn stood sentinel, saying nothing. Worst part? Ward asked, shutting the lid gently. I knew better, he said. I knew this neighborhood could be dicey for me. 3 years of shopping here, helping Allen's nephew. I thought I'd earned invisibility buying cereal. You were born with that right, Quinn said. Was I? Ward asked. Because right now, rights look conditional, skin tone conditional. Quinn had no answer a white man could honestly offer. I'll call tomorrow, Ward said, climbing in. Sam, this isn't who we are, Quinn said at the window. I know what you want us to be, Ward answered. Being and wanting differ. Ward's rear view caught Quinn shrinking in the lot, older than his years, carrying the command burden, responsibility for failures beneath him. Unfair, like most of the morning felt. The drive home stitched suburbs to denser streets, prosperity tapering to patchwork struggle, cars aged, lawns shrank, faces darkened, geography tracing familiar American lines he'd studied for decades. His car's Bluetooth flashed Maria Torres, his partner. Hey, partner, she said. How'd your thrilling grocery run go? How, he began, then exhaled. Police scanner, social media, 200 shares already. Want me to swing by? No, I need time to process. Samuel Ward needs processing time? Must have been rougher than the posts. Rookie cop held me at gunpoint 20 minutes. Jesus, you okay? Physically, yes. Ask about mentally later. Mercer? She asked. You know him? Reputation. Flagged during academy diversity sessions, borderline comments. Nothing actionable, but noted. They graduated him anyway. Departments graduate many they shouldn't, Maria said. Numbers over temperament. Quinn hopes I'll consider not filing, Ward said. He's protecting optics? Protecting me from the grinder, Ward replied. Since when do you duck fights? Since I'm tired, Maria. 20 years, same fight, minimal change. Things have changed, she said, slowly. How many generations must wait for slow to matter? Whatever you decide, I've got you, she said. The team, too. Williams is already drafting a response. Tell him stand down. This isn't tactical. Everything's tactical with Williams, she laughed. Despite himself, Ward smiled. His team steadied him. People who showed up, no questions. I should go. Ice cream's melting, he said. Since when do you eat ice cream? Starting today. He finished the drive in quiet. His building, converted warehouse, neighborhood gentrifying. Mrs. Tran tended the stoop garden, an elderly Vietnamese immigrant whose dumplings occasionally appeared unsolicited. Mr. Ward, she called, studying his face. You okay? You look heavy. Long morning, Mrs. Tran. Trouble with police? She asked, tone knowing. Your grandson? Internet. They share everything. They see Asian, they see different. See black, they see danger, she said. Is wrong. Yes, but you are police too. FBI. Then you change inside. Outside they resist. Inside maybe listen. Hard-won wisdom from a survivor of revolutions. Thank you, Ward said. You eat with us tonight, she commanded. 7. Too thin. He chuckled. The conversation ended on her terms, as usual. Inside, he shelved groceries, ritual as balm. The apartment was functional, sparse. His ex once called it a safe house with better appliances. She hadn't been entirely wrong about that. He slid ice cream into the freezer, cereal into the pantry. Normal motions after abnormal minutes. The cereal box triggered the muzzle image, dead over breakfast if luck tilted wrong. On impulse, he opened his laptop. The video already spread, shaky, partial, but clear. Mercer's gun drawn, Ward's hands raised. Comments divided predictably, ideologies clashing in tidy boxes. One meant-well post stung. This is why we need more black FBI agents to show local cops real policing. He shouldn't need a badge to be treated human. Quinn texted, saw the video, worse than he thought. Whatever you decide, Mercer's done here, the chief wrote. Ward felt conflicted. Consequences mattered, but would it change Mercer's beliefs? He tried case files, failed, tried television, worse, went for a run, the old rhythm that purged noise, pavements beat, lungs burn, forward motion's simplicity, quieting the clatter within. He passed familiar storefronts, the coffee spot where they knew him, the barbershop debates, the playground's effortless diversity. Here, he wasn't emblematic. He was the guy who held doors. He nearly collided with a patrolman writing a ticket. Young, Asian, probably Korean. Recognition flickered. Agent Ward, he said. Officer David Kim, Ward nodded. What happened was wrong, sir. Mercer was in my academy class, Kim said. He always had views. We warned him. Instructors can't fail attitude if tests pass. Plus, his uncle's a city councilman. That explained too much. Thanks for telling me, Ward said. Most of us aren't like him, Kim added. We signed up to help people. All people. I know, Ward said sincerely. The problem is one Mercer undoes 100 Kims, Ward added. Yes, sir, Kim said. That's why I hope you file the complaint. Consequences teach. Others need to see it. Back home near dusk, Ward showered, changed, and against instinct headed to Mrs. Tran's. Her apartment was warm, cluttered with photos and keepsakes, fragrant with ginger and garlic. Her grandson Kevin hovered at the table, 17 and uncertain. Kevin saw video, she announced. He has questions. Grandma, you have questions. Mr. Ward has answers. We learn. Why not show your badge right away? Kevin asked. He wouldn't let me move, Ward said. Why draw his gun to begin with? You must have done something. Kevin! Mrs. Tran scolded. Ward recognized the confusion, the comforting myth that obedience equals safety. Ever been followed by store security? Once, Kevin admitted. Stealing? No. Then why follow? Understanding dawned slowly. Ah. Now add a gun, Ward said. Silence settled as dumplings arrived. Comfort crossed cultures. Mrs. Tran kept refilling his plate with a mutter about Americans undereating, which he ignored politely. What will you do? Kevin asked. Not sure yet. Grandma says fight. Bullies only understand strength. Mrs. Tran nodded. Where I'm from, you stand or you're crushed. No middle. Harsh, but hard to argue. He climbed back to his apartment later, her words echoing alongside Mercer's trembling hands. His phone buzzed, another local station requesting an interview immediately. He ignored it. National outlets were picking it up now. He watched from his window as news vans anchored on the street below. His quiet life had sprouted antennas overnight. The doorbell rang. Through the peephole, a white woman, early 30s, clutching a casserole dish. Unfamiliar. Yes? Mr. Ward, I'm Sarah Mercer, Dylan's sister. Please, 5 minutes? The plea shook a little. Caution prickled. Still, something genuine wavered in her voice. He unchained the door, left it mostly closed. This isn't appropriate, he said. Your brother should go through his representative. I'm not here to defend him, she said quickly. I brought this, my mom's tuna casserole. She said never ask forgiveness empty-handed. Your brother should be asking, Ward said flatly. He should, she said, but he won't. Pride and bad influences surround him. She set the dish down, hands shaking. I want to apologize, explain, and ask something I've no right. Go on, Ward said, wary. Dylan wasn't always like this, she said. His childhood best friend was black. College changed him. Crowds, podcasts, sites. Our dad died, he spiraled, joined the force angry. Not my problem, Ward said. I know, she replied, but maybe understanding helps fix it. Underneath it, he's lost, not evil. The difference matters less with a gun, Ward countered. She nodded, eyes wet. When I saw the video, I was horrified. Dad would be ashamed. What are you asking? File the complaint, she said. Ward blinked. He'd expected the opposite. If you don't, she continued, he'll convince himself he's right. The chorus around him will harden him. If he loses the badge, maybe he'll actually look inward, or at least stop hurting people. Your uncle's a councilman, Ward said. He'll shield Dylan. Sarah's expression darkened. Uncle Richard is part of the problem. He fills Dylan's head with grievance. He'll try. A complaint creates a record. It forces conversation. It makes sweeping harder, she said. And it's right, even if imperfect. Ward's phone rang. Chief Quinn. I should take this, Ward said. Of course, Sarah said, backing away. Keep the casserole, she added. Comfort food. You look like you need it. She left. Sam, Quinn said on the line, we've got a problem. The video's gone truly national. Statements requested already. Fox calls it a cop lynching. CNN wants a sit-down. The mayor's office is rattled. Predictable, Ward said. I hate to pressure you, but I need to know your plan, complaint or not. Dylan's sister just asked me to file, Ward said. Silence, then Quinn. His own sister? She thinks consequences are his only chance. Quinn exhaled. There's more. IA's prelim shows 3 prior complaints. 6 months in uniform. 3 complaints, all from black residents, alleging aggressive behavior. Unsubstantiated. No video, no officer witnesses. No witnesses, Ward repeated. Of course. His anger slowly rekindled, measured and hot. I'm filing, Ward said. Figured, Quinn answered. You have my full support. We'll make it thorough. I'll deal with Councilman Mercer. With video out, interference would be foolishly obvious. Ward typed by lamplight, each sentence heavy with consequence. A news alert pinged. The video headline framed it as racial profiling or justified caution. The question mark made his gut twist. He closed the article. The comments below teemed with venom, defense, and projection. Another knock. Marcus Williams, teammate and friend, arrived with pizza and a six-pack. Quiet solidarity incarnate. Figured you shouldn't sit alone, Marcus said, settling in. Sarah Mercer visited, Ward said. Marcus choked on beer. The rookie's sister? That takes guts. She wants me to file, Ward answered. Smart, Marcus said. Shame brains skipped her brother. They watched muted coverage, frames dissected endlessly. This follows you, Marcus warned. Courtrooms, defense attorneys, the narrative machine. Get ready. I know, Ward said, filing anyway. Not arguing, Marcus replied, just saying brace for backlash. The phone rang. Detective Ray Martinez. Agent Ward, Martinez from the 37th, respectfully, support. What Mercer did was wrong. Many of us are relieved you're holding him accountable. Thank you, Ward said. One more thing. I was his training officer 2 weeks. Requested reassignment. I documented concerns. Buried. If IA needs testimony, I'll go on record, Martinez said. That's risky, Ward replied. The blue wall notices. With respect, sir, Mercer isn't our own. He's a liability that taints real cops. After they hung up, Ward relayed it. Marcus whistled. A cop willing to testify? Rare. Maybe things are shifting. Maybe, Ward said. Or maybe he's just stepping away from a sinking ship. Marcus eventually left with a promise. Ward kept typing the complaint, choosing words like evidence, careful and exact. Near midnight, a text buzzed. I filmed everything, start to finish. Relief pricked. He forwarded it instantly to Quinn and Bureau Legal. More footage, full context mattered. Sleep dodged him until near dawn. Every blink replayed Mercer's muzzle. The crowd's silence. Fluorescent hum. Sunday arrived gray and wet, his mood matching the sky. He silenced the doorbell after a Washington Post reporter found his address. Security escorted her out with apologies, resigned. By noon, his inbox flooded, supportive, hostile, opportunistic, activist. His personal email, somehow discovered, fared no better. At 1, Quinn called. The mayor wants a meeting at 3, damage control. She's worried about protests, Quinn said. Worries about the city's image. There's nothing quiet about a viral video, Ward replied. He dressed deliberately, suit, tie, credentials visible, an emblem by necessity. City Hall's steps collected small crowds, signs demanding justice, others defending police. Ward slipped through a side door, ushered into a room with Mayor Patricia Williams, City Attorney James Crawford, and Councilman Richard Mercer. Agent Ward, thank you, the mayor began with polished smile. One incident shouldn't erase progress. One incident, Ward said. IA flagged 3 previous complaints. Unsubstantiated, Councilman Mercer cut in sharply. Investigated by whom? Ward asked. His peers? The room tightened. The mayor interceded. We're here for a path forward. Would you consider handling this internally without a formal complaint triggering public investigation? You're asking me to bury it, Ward said. We're asking consideration for the greater good. Training, counseling, she offered. You can't counsel away racism or untrain the impulse to brandish at Cheerios. My nephew isn't racist, the councilman snapped. He made a judgment call. A racist one, Ward said. If you can't see it, you're part of the problem. Quinn cleared his throat diplomatically. Facts. Weapon drawn without cause, unlawful detainment, public endangerment, Quinn said. Those are policy violations and potentially federal. The attorney leaned in. A settlement, acknowledgement, quiet resignation, no federal charges. So he resigns, then polices 2 states over, Ward said. Include a no law enforcement clause, Crawford countered. And you'll enforce it how? Without a record, nothing follows him, Ward replied. Think of the good officers, the mayor pleaded. Community relations will crumble if this escalates. They already crumble when bad cops avoid consequences, Ward said. I filed the complaint this morning. Silence. The mayor's smile evaporated. Then this meeting is educational, Ward said, standing. Now I know image matters more than accountability here. He turned. You'll ruin his life, Mercer said. He ruined his trajectory drawing on my skin, Ward answered. I'm ensuring consequences. In the corridor, Quinn caught up. That could have gone smoother. They wanted quiet. That wasn't happening. IA's serious, Quinn said. Martinez has given a statement. 2 more officers surfaced concerns they once swallowed, the walls cracking. Maybe, Ward said. Or rats leaving a ship. There's a community meeting tonight, Quinn added. Faith leaders hope to prevent violence. Rumors of protests, possibly riots, if Mercer isn't charged criminally. They want you to speak. They want me to be a symbol of functionality, Ward said. 7 o'clock at First Baptist on Madison, Quinn replied. I'll be there, Ward said, unwilling but resolved. Sometimes roles choose you. Outside, protesters multiplied. Someone recognized Ward. Chants swelled. Support, anger, solidarity braided into a single roar. He pushed through politely, news crews pivoting like weather vanes toward him. Back home, more reporters lingered. Security managed little. He parked down the block, slipped through a loading dock like a suspect. Upstairs, the phone and email avalanches continued ruthlessly. Maria called via work line. You holding up? I've been better. You going tonight? Yes, Ward said. Not all law enforcement is Mercer. Some of us fight for better. Heavy lift, she said. Not alone, Ward replied. Martinez spoke up. Others too. Maybe something good blooms from this. Maybe, Maria said. Or another spasm that fades. Sorry. Realist talking. You're a good agent because you are, Ward said. He drafted thoughts for the church. What do you tell a community that's seen too many videos, most without survivors to narrate? Evening, he dressed down to business casual, approachable yet professional. He drove past murals and memorials, corners scarred by earlier protests, the city speaking its recent grief in painted brick. First Baptist bulged beyond capacity, crowds spilling outside under ushers' umbrellas. Inside churned an electric atmosphere, respectful, restless, barely contained. Ward recognized organizers, clergy, politicians, neighborhood stalwarts, familiar grief etched deep. Reverend Elijah Brooks, towering in presence and stature, greeted him. Agent Ward, your presence matters, he said. I'm not sure anything I say helps, Ward confessed. Speak your truth. Prayers opened, calls for peace threaded with anger. When Reverend Brooks invited Ward, a hush fell. Faces waited, black, brown, white, Asian, hungry for answers, acknowledgement, some sturdy form of hope. Yesterday, I went to buy cereal, Ward began. That almost cost me my life because an officer saw my skin before my humanity. I'm standing here because of a badge. What about those without one? Agreement rippled, painful and true. 22 years serving every community, Ward said. Yesterday, none mattered. Yesterday, I was a black man in the wrong zip code. I filed a complaint, not for revenge, but accountability. The system shielded him through 3 earlier complaints. This time, there's video. The system never works, someone called. It never has. It's broken, Ward agreed, but can be forced to function. If we demand, document, refuse silence, back good officers, expose bad. That's unglamorous work, but it's where change breathes. An older woman rose. My grandson died 3 years ago. Unarmed, no badge. What good is your complaint to him? The question hovered heavy, impossible and necessary at once. Nothing brings him back, Ward said. I am truly sorry. But without accountability, there will be more grandmothers grieving. Mercer is one man. The culture enabling him must change. A student stood. What about officers who stayed quiet? What about the chief who kept him in uniform? He suspended Mercer fast, Ward said. Because there's video, someone snapped back immediately. And because you're FBI. What about no video? No federal shield? The room tipped toward frustration. Ward lifted a hand. You're right to be angry. I am too. Anger without action is noise. I'm pursuing accountability through channels. You pursue it with relentless, peaceful pressure. Vote, protest, record, back reformers, organize. Make ignoring us costlier than acting. Reverend Brooks stepped beside him thoughtfully. Righteous anger requires righteous action, the Reverend said. Violence gives them excuses. Organization gives us leverage. Speakers followed, calls for federal oversight, community review, training with teeth, transparent discipline. Ward listened to stories, stops for walking home, detainments for sitting in cars, parks policed like crimes. His own mourning felt small against the avalanche of everyone else's harm. On his way out, a young woman approached. Familiar face. Ashley Whitaker, she said. Alan's daughter. I texted you the full video. Officer Mercer hassled black customers before. I kept records. Dates, descriptions. I'll testify, she said. Thank you, Ward replied. Courage matters. Not courage, just right, Ashley said. Silence makes us complicit. Another crack in a long, stubborn wall. Driving home through rain-slick streets, Ward thought about complicity and courage, systems and single choices, the cost of becoming a symbol when all he'd wanted was honey O's. His phone lit with dozens of missed calls. One voicemail, Councilman Mercer. You destroyed a good man over a mistake, the message growled. He's getting threats. His fiancée left. His mother's wrecked. I have resources, influence, a long memory. This isn't over, the councilman finished. Ward deleted, then flagged for Bureau Counsel. Anger plus power equals risk. Bluff or not, document everything carefully. Outside his door, a plate of dumplings and a note in careful handwriting. You spoke well. My grandson says hero. I say good man doing hard thing. Eat. He smiled, exhausted. Monday morning, news dissected everything on multiple screens at the bureau. Co-workers split between supportive nods and skittish avoidance. Even in Justice's house, divisions spooled quietly like thread. Ward, my office, Deputy Director Jennifer Hayes called. Small, sharp, politically surgical. Her window caught downtown's hard light. AG called last night, she said. DOJ may open a civil rights investigation. Into the entire department, using this as catalyst, she added. Overreaction to one incident? Ward asked. It's not one, Hayes said, dropping a folder. 3 complaints, Martinez's buried concerns, Whitaker's logs, systemic oversight failure. 12 more citizens came forward since Saturday, 17 about similar behavior by other officers, Hayes continued. The mayor wants quiet. The councilman's dialing favors. National attention makes quiet impossible. We want you to lead a joint task force on bias in CPD, she said. Not your own case, but the pattern. You have local credibility and federal weight. My credibility's contested, Ward replied. Half the country thinks I'm playing the race card. The other half thinks you're principled, Hayes said. The AG thinks you bridge the divide. Voluntary, but decide by tomorrow. Announcement Wednesday. Ward felt the gravity settle. Lead the task force and become an even larger target, or step aside and watch someone parachute in. Can I think? Until tomorrow, Hayes said, ending the meeting. At his desk, case files loomed. His phone buzzed with Keller updates. Maria wheeled over. Heard about the task force. You taking it? I don't know. It's a minefield, Ward said thoughtfully. Everything's a minefield now, she said. Might as well pick the one where you can defuse a few. Before he could answer, Quinn called. We've got a situation, the chief said, voice tight. Dylan Mercer's at Presbyterian Hospital. Ward's stomach chilled. What happened? Suicide attempt? Pills? His sister found him. He's stable, on psychiatric hold. It'll leak soon. Nothing stays quiet anymore. Ward closed his eyes. He'd wanted consequences, not death, growth, not escape. Is it public? Not yet, Quinn said. You deserve to hear first. After they hung up, Ward stared at his phone, heavy. This isn't on you, Maria said. If I hadn't filed, he'd still be drawing down on innocent people, she answered. Consequences aren't cruelty. Choices have weight. This one was his. A text from an unknown number. This is Sarah Mercer. I'm at the hospital. Please don't withdraw the complaint. Accountability still matters. A suicide attempt can't erase what he did. Strength wrapped in fear. The news broke within the hour. Social media detonated again. Sympathy, scorn, weaponized narratives. Commentators slotted it into their pre-built frames with industrial speed. This is what happens when the mob demands blood, a conservative host declared. A young officer makes one mistake, and his life is destroyed. While a federal agent, protected by elite circles, ruins a working-class cop, the host continued. Another panelist countered. He pointed a gun at a man shopping for cereal. That's not a mistake. Ward watched, jaw tight. The coverage wasn't about truth. It was about slots. Who plays hero, who plays villain, whose pain becomes content between commercials. He muted the television altogether. Quinn texted updates. Mercer stable, under observation. IA interviews accelerated. Martinez delivered documents. 2 more officers volunteered statements. The wall's thinner today, Quinn wrote. Maybe this time it breaks. Hayes pinged. Decision by morning. Ward walked to the window. The city carried on below, indifferent and grinding. Somewhere, another aisle, another officer, another stranger, another moment balanced on fear. He thought of Mrs. Tran's inside change, of Ashley Whitaker's logs, of Kim's quiet courage, of Marcus's practical loyalty, of Quinn's resolve to own failures publicly, thin cords woven strong. He also thought of Councilman Mercer's threat, of talk shows slicing lives into takes, of cynicism rehearsed for years. He exhaled. Whatever he chose, the cost would be real and ongoing. His phone buzzed again. Bureau press asking for prepared remarks if DOJ announced the task force. He drafted lines. Accountability, transparency, partnership, safety for every neighborhood. Dignity without prerequisites. He added a sentence and didn't delete it. We will follow facts, not factions. He read it once more and left it there, a stake in ground soft as mud. Maria slid a coffee onto his desk. You look like a man about to pick the hard road, she said. There's only one worth walking, Ward answered, not entirely certain, but close. He texted Quinn. I'll speak publicly when DOJ moves and I'll tell the truth. That includes your department's cooperation and its failures. Quinn replied, Do it. Sunlight or bust. Another message from Sarah. My mother says to tell you thank you for not letting him off. She's furious and terrified, but she knows the difference between consequence and cruelty. Ward typed back, wishing him recovery and accountability. Those are not opposites. He stared at that line, wondered if it would survive the week, the month, the avalanche of online certainty. He reopened his complaint and appended the new corroborations, Ashley's records, Martinez's documents, the complete video witness. He triple-checked dates, proper nouns, badge numbers. Precision is mercy in official writing. He saved, encrypted, sent copies to legal and IA. He closed the laptop and let the room be quiet. Quiet felt like a rare, endangered species lately. Fragile, necessary, easily spooked. He thought of cereal aisles and muzzle flashes, of badges and casseroles, of dumplings and thunderous sanctuaries. He thought of a city that might yet choose courage over comfort, truth over spin. Then he opened the laptop again, because quiet was scarce and work louder than thoughts. He prepared to be called opportunist or traitor or hero, depending on which channel aired first. He squared his shoulders, settled into the chair, and kept typing, names, times, policies, remedies, threads that might stitch a rent fabric. Outside, sirens Dopplered past, then faded into ordinary afternoon. On television, the panel kept arguing, each certain, each loud. This is what happens when the mob demands blood, one insisted again, while another replied, accountability isn't blood, it's responsibility. One mistake, a liberal pundit pushed back. There were 3 prior complaints, a pattern. Agent Parker Miles glanced at Nathan. You good? I'm managing. No, you're not, and that's fine, Parker said, surprising everyone with profanity. Tyler landed himself there the second he aimed. Consequences belong to choices, Parker added. His bad reactions aren't your burden. Nathan's phone lit. His ex, Dana. Saw the news. Are you all right? Everyone keeps asking because everyone knows you, she said gently. You shoulder blame that was never yours. Saturday wasn't your fault, Nathan. Today isn't either. His demons are his own. I know logically, not emotionally. That weight made you great and hard to marry, she said wryly. Thanks, Dana. Take care. The world needs principled men, not martyrs. Nathan returned to find Deputy Director Lila Grant waiting. The Mercer situation changes timelines. The AG wants the task force announced today, Lila said. We must preempt claims federal pressure sparked his attempt. Are you in? Nathan thought of Emily Mercer's text, the 12 new complaints, Detective Raul Ortega risking everything, the grieving grandmother at church, his own roadside stops. I'm in, Lila nodded. 2 o'clock presser, best suit. Hours blurred, PR-coached language, legal-bounded answers, wardrobe-pressed slate blue tie for cameras. At 1:30, Chief Martin Hale called. I'm resigning. Martin, why? My watch. I missed the pattern. Complaints buried. I didn't exhume them. Leadership means responsibility. You can't. Already filed, effective month's end. I'll help transition. The city needs an untarnished chief. Acting Chief Elena Vargas steps in. She's steady. You knew I'd accept. You've never sidestepped a justice fight. The federal auditorium felt like a crucible, flags, seals, cameras, and the AG's face beaming in. Nathan opened prepared remarks, letting real feelings shade them. Saturday, I experienced what many Americans endure, treated as threat, not citizen, because of skin. My credentials ultimately shielded me. They shouldn't be required. Everyone deserves to walk, drive, shop, simply exist without unjust police aggression. Today, we launch a joint FBI-DOJ task force probing bias patterns within CPD, not to punish honorable officers, but to repair systemic breaches undermining trust. Do you feel responsible for Mercer's attempt? A reporter yelled. Nathan left the script. I regret he felt that cornered. I hope he gets help. But his crisis doesn't negate discriminatory conduct violating civil rights. Mental health can contextualize, not excuse. Will he face charges? Another asked quickly. That's the state's attorney's decision. Our scope is institutional, not individual prosecutions. Using this for politics? I wanted serial, not headlines, Nathan said. When injustice is filmed 15 million times, silence becomes complicity. I'm seeking structural change, not clout. 20 minutes of traps followed. Interrogation training paid off. Back in Lila's office, 2 whiskeys waited despite the hour. Measured, human. The AG's pleased, she said. He's in D.C. I live here, Nathan replied. Which is why you're getting protective detail, Lila said. Not optional. The councilman's threat is logged. Extremist chatter mentions making an example. 2 agents minimum. Arguing would waste breath. Bureau safeguards weren't negotiable. That evening, with a discreet tale, Nathan went to the hospital anyway, pulled by something stubbornly human. Emily Mercer looked wrecked in the waiting room. Agent Crow, why come? I'm not sure. Physically stable, she said. Mentally shattered. He keeps apologizing, uncertain why. Do you regret urging the complaint? Nathan asked. Long silence. No. He was barreling toward tragedy, either hurting someone or dying. Accountability might be painful redemption. That's a hard family stance. Family isn't enabling, she said. Dad taught us that. He'd want responsibility and growth. A doctor appeared. Miss Mercer, he's asking. She paused. He's asked about you, whether you were hurt. First empathy I've heard in years. After she left, Nathan sat, phone buzzing with logistics nonstop. The detail drove him home. Mrs. Tran and Kevin waited. We watched the press conference, she declared. You did well. Now the hard work truly begins. Kevin? She prompted. The teen shifted. I'm sorry for assuming you provoked it. That was ignorant. It was human confusion, Nathan said, trying to make senseless sense. My friends are saying awful things. About you, about black people. I didn't know. Moments like this reveal beliefs, Nathan said. What matters is the side you choose. I choose justice, Kevin said. Grandma says silence is complicity. Smart kid, Mrs. Tran nodded. Come. Dinner? Your security too. Hungry people think poorly. Soon Nathan, Agent Sarah Cooper, and Tom Bradley ate handmade noodles, conversation drifting anywhere but the case, exactly the respite his frayed nerves craved. My dad's CPD 30 years, Cooper said. He said accountability's overdue. He's tired of shielding bad cops. Hard position, Nathan replied. 2 years to retirement. He'd rather exit standing for something. Bradley added, My brother-in-law's CPD says the House is splitting, old guard versus reform. Your case forces choosing sides. Change hurts, Mrs. Tran said. During reforms in China, pride fought progress. Admitting the old way failed is harder than learning the new way. Back upstairs, Nathan found inboxes full, officers volunteering testimony about discrimination they'd seen or endured. Many were white, describing ostracism after reporting misconduct. One message stood out, Officer Daniel Kwan. You said one Mercer undoes 100 Kwans. Maybe one crow inspires 100 Kwans. Assign me liaison duties. Nathan forwarded it to Acting Chief Vargas with recommendation. Minutes later, Detective Ortega called. Heads up, problem brewing. Some of Tyler's body cam files vanished. How does footage disappear? Admin deletion. It's trying recovery. Whoever did it knew their way around. Timing's ugly. Sunday night, after complaint, before federal announcement. Obstruction, a federal crime. Nathan looped in cyber. Ortega continued. Councilman Victor Mercer's building a defense fund. Lawyers, PR. They'll paint you as villain, him victim. Truth's on video. Only part, Ortega cautioned. They'll scream missing context, dig your past, invent smoke. Nothing to find. They'll manufacture fog anyway, Ortega sighed. Nathan checked tomorrow. Task force at 9, IA interview 11, AG call 2, media training 4, and his regular caseload somehow threaded between everything unraveling. Phone buzzed. Tyler Mercer. I know contacting you is wrong, the text read. I was afraid of seeming weak, of failing expectations, not of you. That fear made threats from shadows. I'm not asking forgiveness. I'm trying to understand how I became that man. I'm sorry. For beliefs enabling actions. Nathan saved it, saying nothing. Anything typed would become legal ammunition. Local news led with the task force. Tyler's condition, community reactions. Nationals spun louder. He killed the TV, stared at city lights. Somewhere Tyler wrestled demons. Hale drafted resignation. Emily kept vigil. Officers chose sides over their department's soul. Tomorrow, investigation work officially began, unearthing uncomfortable truths, exposing bias, making enemies among former colleagues. Not his plan, but responsibility rarely follows plans. A final text arrived from his first bureau partner retired in Florida. Proud of you. Integrity isn't popularity, it's mirror time. Keep fighting, brother. Nathan prepped for bed, knowing tomorrow brought fresh crises and chances. Symbols are heavy, he thought, but they also guide. Rain ticked steady against glass. Sleep dodged him. Too many thoughts, responsibilities, people depending on bridges between what is and what might be. Morning meant cameras again. Suits, difficult answers. He'd balance justice and mercy, accountability with understanding. He'd be Special Agent Nathan Crow, leading a task force reshaping a city's policing culture. Tonight he was just a man who wanted cereal, thrust into a storm refusing to pass. The cereal, still unopened, felt like a monument to upheaval. Tuesday's briefing room packed tight, feds one side, CPD the other, a courageous few between. Acting Chief Vargas sat front row, unreadable, calm as a winter pond. Before we start, Nathan said, voice steady from 2 decades, we're not here to destroy CPD, only to fix systems denying equal service and protection. A veteran rose, Sergeant Kowalski, granite features weathered by years. How can you be objective when you're the incident's victim? I'm not investigating my case. IA and the state handle that. We examine patterns and policies enabling incidents like it. That's different, Nathan said. Assuming patterns exist? Kowalski challenged flatly. Detective Ortega stood. They exist, we all know. We were too chicken shit to confront them. Murmurs broke loose. Vargas rose. Enough. Cooperation or the door. Your choice. 3 officers left. Better to know early. Nathan continued. We'll review 5 years. Complaints, arrests, force reports, across race, neighborhoods, repeat officers, equal treatment under law. Officer Kwan raised a hand. Where do scared witnesses report? Encrypted tip line. Full federal whistleblower protections, Nathan said. For 2 hours, protocols, assignments, timelines crystallized. When it ended, exhaustion met cautious optimism. Resistance persisted, but genuine reformers sat everywhere. Vargas approached. You handled that well. Perception concerns remain, she admitted. Exactly why CPD voices matter, Nathan said. We need partnership, not occupation. You'll have it, Vargas replied. Ortega's liaison, Kwan's backup, different generations, same spine. Security escorted Nathan to the state's attorney. Marble halls, wood panels, practiced smiles, a temple to power. State's attorney Michelle Carr greeted him, courteous, sharp. Filing assault with a deadly weapon and civil rights violations. Felonies, she said. They'll likely plead down, but charges signal seriousness. Signals don't reform behavior, Nathan answered. In Chicago, signals sometimes precede substance, Carr said. Expect pressure. 3 council members already urged compassion for a young officer's mistake. Pointing a gun wasn't a mistake. It was a crime, she agreed. Nathan's phone pinged. Building manager, news crews cornering tenants. He showed Carr. It'll worsen first, she warned. They'll dig. Everyone has something. Outside, Councilman Victor Mercer waited with 2 private guards. Agent Crow, let's talk. Your threatening voicemail bar's contact, Nathan said. I was intemperate, upset, Mercer smoothed. Understandable, not exculpatory, Nathan replied. Mercer leaned close. This city runs on relationships. You're torching bridges you'll someday need. Is that a threat? It's reality, Mercer said. You aren't untouchable. Permits, tickets, favors, doors close. Nathan's detail tensed. He waved them down. Your nephew aimed at me because I'm black. No politics changes that, Nathan said, entering his car. Mercer called. He's out. Ankle monitor at his mother's. You should know. Nathan felt anger tighten, unexpected and hot. Back at the bureau, Sophia Reyes handed a file. Media dug up 2008, a justified shooting, white suspect. They'll invent racial pattern nonsense. Nathan remembered. Hostages. A pregnant woman. They're desperate, Sophia said. Also, Ashley Bennett's full video is worse for Tyler. He stalked you 3 aisles before drawing. Send it to Carr. Pre-plea leverage. Already did, Sophia said. Cyber found who deleted body cam files. Councilman Mercer's credentials. Nathan exhaled. Search warrants, office, home, devices. Quiet until we move. Mid-afternoon, Tyler's ex, Lauren Pierce, requested a guarded cafe meeting. She arrived with counsel, poised and bruised by months of grief and grit. I returned the ring that day, she said, setting a box down. I left the man he became, not the man I loved. What changed him? His uncle, Lauren said. After his father died, Victor filled him with grievance. Minorities getting favoritism, war on cops. He called me an exception. He knew I'm mixed, she added. Racists always curate exceptions. Why tell me? Because holding him accountable is right, Lauren said. Love isn't license for hatred. My lawyer dislikes this, she added, nodding to counsel, but I recorded arguments for therapy. He knew. Consent given. You'll hear indoctrination forming step by step. One more thing, he plans to plead guilty, Lauren said. His uncle's livid, lawyers furious, but Tyler says responsibility's due. Afterward, Nathan processed. It simplified and complicated everything. Vargas called, urgent. 2 protests tonight. BLM supporting you, Blue Lives backing Tyler, converging at City Hall. Scale? Anything from speeches to mayhem. Officers are calling out sick. What do you need? Stay away, Vargas said. Both sides weaponize your presence. Let us manage. It felt like hiding. He agreed anyway, uneasy under prudent caution. Night fell. Screens filled with crowds. At first, speeches. Then a bottle or something flew. Videos conflicted. Finger-pointing flourished. Peace evaporated into sirens and confusion. Nathan watched CPD struggle. Split energies, split loyalties. Bias visible even on shaky streams. Phones rang non-stop. He ignored the chorus, eyes on unraveling streets. Sophia arrived late, flashed credentials past security. You need to see this, she said, showing CPD posts, officers openly taking sides. The department was tearing down the middle. This isn't what I wanted. It was inevitable, Sophia said. Infection existed. Your case lanced it. Around midnight, dispersal came. Arrests, injuries. Simmering outrage lingering stubbornly. Emergency task force at dawn, Sophia added. DC is sending more bodies. Also, obstruction case on Victor ignites next phase. Nathan nodded. Sunlight's messy. Necessary, though. He stood at the window afterward. Distant sirens wrote the city's insomnia. Text from Hale. Not your fault. Reckoning was overdue. Hold the line. Emily Mercer wrote too. Tyler's devastated about the violence. He wants a public statement owning everything. Lawyers pushing back. He insists. Could honesty calm a burning square? Nathan called Vargas. If he owns it publicly, that deflates defenders. They'll claim coercion, she cautioned. They'll spin regardless, Nathan said. At least facts come from him. You're right, Vargas sighed. We'll coordinate messaging. After hanging up, she added, Never thought I'd manage riots over an officer pointing at an FBI agent. How's morale? Fractured. Old-timers circle wagons. Younger officers demand reform. Middle managers feign neutrality. Unsustainable. Change hurts until it becomes normal, Nathan said, surprising himself. Philosophical, she teased. I still haven't eaten that cereal, he admitted. It's become a shrine to chaos theory. Eat it tomorrow. Normalcy is quiet rebellion. Wednesday brought reinforcements. AG authorized teams for witness protection and infrastructure defense. Message received. Washington wouldn't watch Chicago unravel from a distance. Half the CPD delegation ghosted the emergency meeting. Those attending split along fault lines as old as the city. This is what you wanted, Kowalski accused. I wanted accountability, Nathan said. Chaos springs from resisting it. Ortega stood. We've buried complaints for years. Cole didn't break the dam. He pointed at the cracks. So burn the house to save a room? Kowalski snapped. If the house is protecting rot, maybe open windows and reconstruct, Officer Kwan offered, taking heat gladly. Enough, Vargas said. Priorities? Nathan answered. Trust. Officers need safe cooperation lanes. Citizens need confidence complaints matter. He hesitated. Councilman Mercer, arrest today for obstruction. The room erupted. Even Vargas blinked. Arresting a councilman is war, Kowalski said. No, it's law, Nathan replied. Deletion happened before Tyler's crises. Calculated obstruction. 3 o'clock, cameras rolled as agents cuffed Victor Mercer at City Hall. Theater, yes, but honest theater. Power doesn't confer immunity. Blowback arrived on cue. The union shouted witch hunt. Some council members cried federal overreach. Others finally endorsed accountability. An hour later, Tyler's statement aired. Law office backdrop, Emily beside him. Saturday, I aimed at Special Agent Nathan Crow because he's black and I was afraid of myths I believed, Tyler said. I violated oath, training, decency. I'm pleading guilty. I'm sorry to Agent Crow, the community and honorable officers tarnished by me. Imperfect, but more than Nathan expected. A public confession naming race plainly. That evening, Nathan finally ate the cereal, stale monument turned dinner, watching coverage scroll past. Mrs. Tran knocked with soup and sentences that landed like arrows. You look exhausted. I am. Good, she said. Change drains, status quo coddles. Is it worth it? Some days I'm unsure. In Vietnam, war erased my village, she said. We didn't rebuild the same. We rebuilt better. Destruction invites improvement. This isn't war. Isn't it? War between habits and hope. You're a soldier now, whether you chose it. Vargas called. New protests tomorrow. Better planning, stricter separation. We need calming words. What message? Justice through channels. Violence helps no one. Change is moving. Is it? 3 more officers brought evidence. 2 more filed viable complaints. The unions debating reforms. Change is happening, she said. After, Nathan drafted a statement. Patient justice. Systems built of people choosing better. Guarded optimism without saccharin. Hope steadies cities on edge. By morning, it would run across outlets. Victor would post bail. Tyler would await sentencing. The task force would wade deeper into CPD's tangled undergrowth. Nathan looked at the skyline, each light a life touched by these shifts. Thursday's courthouse buzzed. Victor Mercer's bail hearing lured cameras, hecklers, and the merely curious. Security funneled Nathan through. Inside, AUSA Daniel Keene was clinical. Defendant used admin credentials to erase evidence. 3 potential civil rights violations. Calculated obstruction, not impulsive. Defense star Leonard Sloan rose, silkily outraged. A respected public servant. Digital evidence is circumstantial. No flight risk. Judge Teresa Monroe peered over glasses, unimpressed. Do you understand the charges, Mr. Mercer? I do, Your Honor, and deny them, he said. Bail. $500,000 cash, passport surrendered, no witnesses contacted, including Tyler. Your nephew's a witness, Keene noted. Exactly why contact's barred. Leaving, Nathan caught Mercer's stare, venom wrapped around genuine fear. Outside, factions shouted familiar refrains. Do you feel responsible for dividing the city? A reporter asked. I feel responsible for seeking justice legally, Nathan said. Division comes from resisting accountability, not pursuing it. At headquarters, Lila waited. Credible threats, right and left. Some think you're destroying policing. Others think you're timid. Everyone's target, nobody's mascot, she said. Recommendation? Safe house. No, Nathan said. Visible leadership matters. Visibility gets funerals, Lila shot back. Enhanced security then, non-negotiable. He nodded. Line held, just narrower. Afternoon task force outperformed expectations. Victor's arrest showed teeth. Reluctant officers stepped forward. Ortega briefed. 17 officers. Multiple complaints quietly downgraded. 13 tied to Mercer's orbit. That's organized protection, Kwan said. Kowalski surprised everyone, placing a folder down. Copies of buried complaints. I kept them. I stayed quiet then. I won't now. Don't thank me, he added. I should have spoken years ago. Maybe you'd never seen that muzzle. Momentum grew. Backlash snapped. A brick shattered Nathan's window after dark. Note wrapped around it. Stop destroying our heroes. Mrs. Tran hurried over as agents swept rooms. Cowards throw rocks, she said. Brave people stand and testify. They think they're defending something, Nathan said. Their vision of order. Their vision points guns at innocents, she replied. Kevin burst in. We filmed them. Plate number clear. Within an hour, 2 young men, union adjacent, were cuffed. Vargas fumed. Idiots handed the narrative away. It shows resistance's real face, Nathan said. Others will still spin martyrdom. Morning brought Tyler's sentencing. The courtroom's mood was quieter, rawer. Emily sat with their mother, weeping softly. Victor's court order kept him out, seething elsewhere. Prosecutors sought 3 years, deterrence matters. Defense begged probation, mental health and contrition. Nathan delivered his victim statement, measured truth aimed beyond one defendant. He pointed a gun because my skin read his threat, Nathan said. Wrong, dangerous, inexcusable, and symptomatic of larger failings that validated his fear. He's accepted responsibility and agreed to cooperate. Training influences culture. That cooperation serves justice beyond punishment, Nathan concluded. Judge Monroe asked, What do you recommend, Agent Crow? Accountability and utility, he said. Prison time, then supervised probation with mandatory civil rights education, community service, and continued cooperation. Let consequence teach possibility. Mr. Mercer, Judge Monroe ruled, you betrayed a sacred trust. 18 months federal custody, 3 years supervised release under these conditions. Tyler nodded. No theatrics, only acceptance. Before transport, he turned. Would you speak with me before I report? About the department and my uncle. Prosecutors nodded. We'll arrange it, Nathan said evenly. Outside, arguments resumed. Too lenient, too harsh. But the frame shifted. Fewer questioned whether bias exists. More asked how to repair institutions enshrining it. The debrief with Tyler unfolded under martial eyes. Nathan brought Sophia and a court reporter. I'm not shifting blame, Tyler began, but the rot run's organized. Uncle Victor recruited impressionable rookies, he said. Off-the-books reality sessions. Retirees and actives framed neighborhoods as enemy ground. We learned post hoc justification writing. Who? Different heads. Victor coordinated, kept fingerprints minimal, Tyler said. They targeted recruits with tells, comments in class, social posts, family ties. At least 40 attended. Will you testify? Yes, Tyler said. I'll risk prison heat. Snitches don't last, but maybe this saves someone. I aimed because they taught fear. Afterward, silence held the room. When this breaks, it explodes, Sophia said. Good, Nathan answered. This isn't bad apples. It's an orchard cultivated to rot. They briefed Vargas in a tight circle. Jesus, she breathed. A network under our noses. Under leadership's noses, Ortega corrected. Someone at the top looked away. We move carefully, Nathan said. Simultaneous warrants for all identified. Follow money. Protect Tyler. Guards sympathetic to Victor exist. The Union will roar. Let them explain why, Vargas replied. Late Lauren's link arrived. Recordings. Nathan listened alone. Security posted outside. Tyler's younger voice argued hesitantly. Victor's manipulation was smooth and relentless. It's statistics, not racism, Victor cooed. Prevention, not harassment. Peacekeeping means keeping certain people from disturbing peace. Principles eroded, duty repurposed into sanctified prejudice. Nathan stopped the audio, sick. Responsibility stayed with Tyler, but indoctrination's patience was chilling. How many others absorbed that poison disguised as wisdom? A judge signed warrants next morning. 3 officers reported retaliation after refusing reality sessions. They tried recruiting me, Quan admitted. When I declined, Assignments turned toxic. Friday dawned wet and gray. At 6, teams moved on 17 locations. Nathan led the search at Victor's house, warrants for conspiracy and institutional corruption. Victor opened in a robe, spitting composure. "Agent Crow, early." "We're executing a search," Nathan said, stepping past. Encrypted drives, burners, a ledger of consulting payments emerged. "You're dismantling necessary strength," Victor hissed. "This city needs hard edges." "It needs fairness," Nathan answered. "Protection without prejudice." "Spoken like a tourist," Victor sneered. "Maybe," Nathan said. "But I buy groceries here, and existing in this body shouldn't trigger muzzles." By noon, 7 arrests, dozens of suspensions, training materials explicitly promoting profiling. Financials mapped slush funding, messages coordinated cover for chronic offenders. Vargas faced microphones beside Nathan. "We excised a cancer. Most officers serve honorably. This network did not." Reaction detonated. Union promised lawsuits. Activists cheered overdue accountability. National outlets turned Chicago into a case study, broken systems and possible blueprints. Inside CPD, the real shift started. 43 officers requested task force interviews by evening, describing recruitment, witnessing, and retaliation. Ortega tugged Nathan aside. "You started something unstoppable," he said. "This department won't revert." "Good or bad?" Nathan asked. "Ask me next year," Ortega said. "Right now, it's simply necessary." Home again, Mrs. Tran waited with food and clarity. "You look like a man who won a battle but fears the war." "Both are true." "The first shot was last Saturday," she said. "Today was returning fire. The war began long before us. We're finally choosing sides." Kevin bounced in. "Half my friends think you're hero. Half think you're ruining police. I think you're doing the hard right thing." Nathan's phone buzzed. Tyler from lockup. "Thank you for taking them down," the message read. "Doesn't undo me, but maybe prevents future me's. Stay safe." Mrs. Tran read it. "Boy learning late lessons," she said. "Your job. Keep him alive to apply them." "There's a lot on my plate." "This is the price of standing," she said. "Once upright, you can't sit until the job ends." The week's weight pressed down, then steadied. Lila called, AG impressed. "He wants to scale this model," she said. "Premature," Nathan answered. "We're mid-surgery." "Still, you've proven federal oversight can cut rot." "Other cities are watching, half hoping you succeed, half hoping you fail." "No pressure," Nathan said dryly. "I wanted cereal without threats." "Now others might," she replied. Nathan stared through the boarded window's seams. Victor lawyering up, Tyler in protective custody, Emily holding shattered edges. 43 officers reconsidering silence. Tomorrow, more interviews, more evidence, more resistance. The cereal box remained, a humble reliquary to ordinary life. Maybe real change begins with insisting on ordinary, the right to shop without being hunted. The next morning's check found Agent Cooper troubled. "My brother's suspended. One of them," she said. "He bragged about training. He's still my brother." "Family knots don't nullify justice," Nathan said gently. "He chose. Consequences follow." "This is ripping families apart," she whispered. "Racism already did," Nathan replied softly. Every time a father didn't come home because of a biased stop, every talk explaining danger to children, this just spotlights what was breaking already. Near midnight, Nathan allowed a thimble of satisfaction. Not happiness, too much hurt. Not victory, work remains. Satisfaction that he stood when standing risked everything. Rain drummed like impatient fingers. The city wrestled with itself. At its unsettled center, an insistence. Everyone deserves peaceful shopping, regardless of shade. It shouldn't be radical. Here now it is. Nathan Crow, reluctant symbol, kept pushing until normal stopped needing courage. 6 months later, another packed courtroom waited. Victor Mercer's trial neared conclusion. The government's case was devastating. Documents, ledgers, testimony from 43 officers mapping a conspiracy dressing prejudice as policing. Nathan watched Victor's armor fall away, only an aging man left, snarled by the hate he cultivated. The jury filed in. The foreperson rose. Guilty on conspiracy to violate civil rights, guilty on obstruction, guilty on corruption. Victor didn't flinch. His wife wept. Emily stared ahead, unblinking. She'd testified against blood for justice. Chicago's insular circles would remember. Sentencing would follow later. At 71, a decade might read as life. Outside, cameras again. Agent Crow, reaction? Justice served, Nathan said. But this isn't one man. It's the system he built and the repairs underway dismantling it. Repairs were real. 23 terminations, 15 suspensions, retraining across the board, a civilian oversight body with teeth, strict camera policies with severe tampering penalties. Officer Kwan now led a new community liaison unit. Ortega headed training with de-escalation and culture at the center. Even Kowalski advocated reforms convincingly to skeptics. Tyler survived prison. Changed, smaller, clearer. Nathan visited twice, watched contrition sharpen into responsibility. Next week, Tyler would speak to recruits about corrupted intentions. Any regrets? A reporter asked. Nathan considered. I regret necessity, he said. Regret that a muzzle at cereal exposed what communities already knew. I don't regret standing or the changes cascading from it. Chief Vargas joined him. We aren't who we were, she said. Hard truths, hard changes, equal service is our mandate. The AG's offer stands. National Task Force, she added privately. You'll take it. Chicago still needs tending, Nathan said. We'll tend, Vargas replied. Other cities need blueprints. That night, Nathan ate at Mrs. Tran's one last time. The table overflowed. Kevin's questions had grown sharper, kinder, more attuned to complexity. You leave the city better, she said. That's all anyone manages. It's not fixed. Nothing's ever fixed. But now voices exist before silence. Kevin chimed in. Marcus's mom, you remember, says she finally believes cops might protect him. That's because of you. Because many stood up, Nathan corrected gently. Former Chief Hale called. Never thought I'd see Victor convicted, he said. I teach now, trying to seed what I missed. You weren't his architect, Nathan replied. I owned the culture that let it spread, Hale said. That stops with me, and because of you. Nathan packed afterward, AG's national role accepted earlier that day. The cereal box finally hit trash. He didn't need relics anymore. Change lived in new policies, trained cadets, and communities breathing slightly easier at dusk. Texts pinged. Tyler. Release Tuesday, speaking Wednesday. Scared but committed. Thanks for believing change exists. Emily. Uncle still blames you. Mom and I are free. Lauren. He's becoming himself, finally. Prison saved him from himself. Your courage saved others from his mistakes. Morning. Nathan visited Bennett's market. Oliver insisted on ringing him up. A different cereal box this time. On the house, Oliver said. You made my store safe for everyone. It always should have been, Nathan answered softly. Supposed to be, and actually are. Different mountains. Oliver smiled. At the airport, his now optional detail lingered to say farewell. Agent Cooper pulled him aside quietly. My brother's in therapy, she said. Your probe didn't ruin him. It might have saved him. Nathan squeezed her shoulder. Families everywhere were renegotiating truth. As the plane lifted, Chicago sprawled below, work continuing without him. Officers learning, communities mending, systems grinding toward something sturdier than custom. It wasn't perfect, maybe never would be. It was better. All of it started with a bowl, a frightened rookie, and refusal. Refusal to accept that skin could equal suspicion. That Saturday felt lifetime distant, but its echoes would hum through roll calls for years. Approach announced, Washington ahead. Other cities housed their own Victor Mercers, shadow trainings, brittle cultures, and their own Kwans, Ortegas, Kowalskis ready for better. Nathan never sought symbolism. History drafted him anyway. Sometimes courage is choosing visibility when comfort whispers disappear. Sometimes it's simply buying cereal. He thought of ripples. Tyler facing prejudice within himself, Victor facing prison, a department facing reform, a city facing truth. Because one man insisted on ordinary. Touchdown was smooth. Tomorrow, AG meetings, national rollout plans. Next week, testifying before Congress. Next month, another city, another department, another stubborn orchard. Today he was Nathan Crow, a black man who'd wanted breakfast and instead helped change policing. Not the life planned, the life that mattered. He walked through Reagan National. No suspicious glances, no hands drifting toward holsters, no questions about belonging. That, in its quiet way, was victory. That was the point. That made the hard days worth it. The right to stroll, shop, exist without fear, finally moving from radical toward normal. It shouldn't require task forces and trials, yet here, now, it did. Nathan squared his shoulders and kept walking, work following like a shadow. The work was taller than one man, wider than one city. But blueprints existed now, and people willing to build, even under weathered scaffolds. In Hotel Quiet, he opened notes titled Next Cities. Names waited, each with orchards to clear and saplings to plant. He added, Protect ordinary life. He closed the laptop, thought of Mrs. Tran's dumplings, Kevin's certainty, Hale's class, Vargas's spine, Kwan's quiet bravery, Ortega's stubborn honesty. It steadied him. Morning would bring another beginning disguised as a meeting. Tonight brought a thin, earned peace. The cereals lesson traveled with him, needing no suitcase. He set an alarm, breathed, and let the city's far sirens become lullaby instead of warning. Tomorrow required steadier hands than worry could offer. Outside, Washington lights glimmered, another skyline of lives dependent on choices strangers made. He resolved to be the stranger who chose responsibility again, and again, and again. Until no child learned to talk, no mother measured routes by safety myths, no officer mistook prejudice for training's wisdom. The mission was audacious. So was the status quo. Audacity is easier to forgive when it belongs to inertia, harder when it belongs to progress. He'd learned to live with being unforgiven by those guarding broken gates. He'd learned to listen to those long shut outside them. He'd learned that justice sounds like paperwork and policy as often as chants and headlines. That change is mostly meetings, memos, and stubborn follow-through. He smiled unexpectedly at the mundanity of heroism. Emails answered, drafts revised, phrasing argued. Heroes, it turned out, kept calendars and brought snacks. He texted Sophia, "See you at 8. Bring the Ortega files." He texted Lila, "Yes to the Hill brief. Keep it plain." He texted Vargas, "Hold steady." He almost texted Emily, then didn't. Boundaries matter. Instead, he forwarded witness protection updates for Tyler. Protecting contrition helps protect communities. Accountability and mercy can coexist. He finally slept. Dreamed not of muzzle flashes, but of aisles quiet enough to hear carts hum. The ordinary. That's what he was chasing. Morning came with coffee and schedule blocks. He dressed, tied that slate tie, and stepped into hallways where history peeks from office numbers. He carried one scrap of superstition, an unopened cereal bar in his pocket, a reminder that ordinary is delicious, even when hard-earned, even when fragile. In the elevator, a stranger nodded absent-mindedly. Perfect. He wasn't a story here, just another suit with a day to conquer. He exhaled, grateful. In the conference room, maps and timelines waited. So did arguments he'd rather not have, and allies he'd rather not lose. Leadership is expensive. He paid anyway. Let's begin, he said, marker uncapped. Outside, the city continued. Sirens and lullabies, headlines and grocery lists, exactly what he promised to protect. Across miles, Chicago's lights winked. Oliver Bennett opened his market. Kevin grabbed a bus. Mrs. Tran kneaded dough. Ordinary kept happening. That was the win. He'd measure success in quiet drives, uneventful aisles, undisturbed meals, in fewer talks and more trust, in officers proud of restraint, not theatrics. He wrote one sentence on the board, dignity without preconditions, then underlined it twice. The room fell still, and the work again began. He capped the marker, pocketed the cereal bar, and stepped forward. Ordinary worth defending, future worth building, with everyone invited to help. Lesson 1. Ordinary errands can expose extraordinary truths. Those of us who've watched this country change over many decades know that the most revealing moments don't always happen in courtrooms or on the evening news. Sometimes they happen between the cereal and the coffee. In that quiet grocery aisle, a young officer's fear and prejudice met a seasoned federal agent's restraint. Many of you remember similar scenes from earlier eras, different uniforms, same assumptions. The message lands hard. Dignity should not depend on a badge, a title, or the zip code where you shop. For older Americans who have lived through bus boycotts, school integration, and neighborhood watches, the scene is familiar and painful. Yet the federal agent's calm, hands open, voice steady, reminds us that practiced composure can save lives while exposing what's broken. The aisle became a mirror, and the reflection was of a system still learning to see its citizens clearly. Lesson 2. Accountability needs community. Not a mob, but a chorus. Real change rarely arrives with a single hero. It takes the store owner who spoke up, the chief who acted quickly, the witnesses who shared full video, and the officers willing to tell the truth even when it's uncomfortable. Many in our generation learned, sometimes the hard way, that silence protects the wrong people. In this story, neighbors, clergy, and good cops formed a steady chorus. Lower the weapon, tell the truth, follow the policy, protect the public. Accountability isn't vengeance. It's a guardrail that keeps all of us, shoppers, officers, grandkids, safer the next time. When communities show up with facts, not fury, with paperwork, not pitchforks, institutions can't shrug and move on. Lesson 3. Reform is a long road paved with small, unglamorous steps. Those over 65 understand patience better than most. We've seen commissions formed, promises made, and hard truths shelved for later. What worked here was persistence. A formal complaint carefully written, body cam files preserved and audited, training tied to behavior, and leaders who accepted responsibility instead of hiding behind slogans. Progress looked like new oversight, better de-escalation, and promotions that reward restraint, not theatrics. It also looked like apology, counseling, and yes, consequences. None of that fixed everything. It never does. But it moved the needle from "this is how it is" toward "this is how it should be." for grandparents measuring life in seasons instead of news cycles that slow bend matters. We don't chase perfection. We insist on better, day by ordinary day. Friends, after hearing these lessons from one tense morning in a grocery store, I'd love your wisdom. Do you believe lasting reform comes from steady inside-the-system work, policies, training, oversight, or from louder community pressure on the outside? If you were in that aisle, what would you hope your neighbors and local leaders did next? Share a story from your life that shaped how you think about fairness and public safety. Please like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so more folks, especially younger viewers, can learn from your experience and keep this conversation going.